The NHL trade deadline has passed. We're going to take a look at which moves the Leafs made today and if fans think it'll bring the team any closer to playoff contention. At a convention center on the water, Premier Doug Ford is proposing filling in part of the lake to build a new facility. Well, 3,500 Canadians have asked for help to get out of the Middle East as the conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran escalates. We're going to hear from GTA residents who managed to get out and arrived at Pearson today. And as the war continues, gas prices continue to climb higher with another 7-cent jump expected at midnight. This is Live at 5. Kari Savage, welcome to Live at 5. The NHL trade deadline has come and gone, and the Leafs made some moves. Let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, who's outside of Scotiabank Arena. Beatrice, you've been hearing from a lot of fans who they have all had a lot to say.
Yeah, fans are feeling really disappointed with the way this season has rolled out, Bakari, considering how high the hopes were last year, even as they were in that round against the Florida Panthers. But certainly things have changed. They're not doing well. They haven't won a game since the Olympic break. They dropped 6-2 last night to the last place Rangers, and they're sitting well off of playoff position. And so today, on trade deadline day, I think some fans were hoping for some pretty big moves from the team. Bobby McMahon, he's now been traded to Seattle, so 74 is now off the Leafs lineup, and then Scott Lawton was traded as well to the LA Kings. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, though, did not get traded. He remains a Maple Leaf this evening, Bakari. And this all comes after yesterday, Nicholas Waugh traded as well to Colorado Avalanche. He was picked up in that big Marner trade last year when Marner went down to the Golden Knights. But for fans, it's been a disappointing season, some of them blaming the players like Austin Matthews and Nylander, some wanting a complete rebuild of the entire team, starting with those big names. And others are blaming the coach, Craig Berube, and GM, Brad Treliving. And so here's a bit of what I've been hearing from the fans outside of Scotiabank Arena this afternoone.
I mean, they're trading players for draft picks. These draft picks are going to be probably awful. I mean, you lost Marner. You got rid of Bertuzzi. You let him walk. That was the biggest mistake. I mean, the injuries don't help this year, but, I mean, you guys haven't won a cup since '67, so you got to figure it out soon.
Draft picks, you never know really how they're actually going to be when it comes to the big stage and, performing at an NHL level. So, I mean, a first pick, really, you never know. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss.
You still have faith in Austin Matthews, William Nylander, those guys?
I absolutely believe in their talent, but you got to surround them with the right people. Need talent on the back end too, which we don't have, and they have no assets to get that talent. So might have a rebuild coming. We'll see.
And so this is a really unique position for the Leafs, Bakari. In years past, they've been the ones scooping up players, making buys. This year, it's about the selling for the Maple Leafs. Also, they've made the playoffs 9 years in a row. That's the longest streak in the NHL when it comes to teams that have made the playoffs. It doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. The top 8 teams in a division make the playoffs. The Leafs currently sit in 13th. We just heard from Leafs GM Brad Treliving a few minutes ago. You might remember, at least fans will, back in November, Treliving called the Leafs vanilla. So they were playing vanilla, they weren't gelling. And today, in this press conference, just a few minutes ago, actually, he says, I take full responsibility. The failures start with me. We got off to a poor start, and at the end of the season, there will be time for evaluation and postmortems as well. So I think a lot of fans wondering what happens next. Is there going to be a coaching change? He said, let's get through the next 19 games, and then we'll take it from there. But certainly, fans underwhelmed, Bakari, on trade deadline day here for the Maple Leafs. Back to you.
Okay, live outside of Scotiabank Arena, CP24's Beatrice Vaisman. Well, TSN Bar Downs' Eric Kirk talked to us about the activity that we saw ahead of the trade deadline.
Today was kind of a slower day than you'd usually expect. Most of the deals got done a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago with Artemi Panarin. So all the big names were kind of already gone going into this. And then you look at the Leafs, and they just kind of recouped what they could. They got rid of their expiring contracts, and they got some picks for them. And that's pretty much it from the day.
Okay, so it's just after 5 o'clock. Let's get a check on the commute with CP24's traffic specialist, Adjoa Ntiayaboa.
Well, Bakari, been watching quite the slow go on most of the major area highways. And you know what? We are dealing with a problem of Whitby. It's on the 401 westbound. This is through Brock Street, just as you make your way out of Whitby. It was a collision. At one point, it had the left lane blocked. They managed to squeeze everything over to the side, but there's still a little bit of a delay just as you approach that situation. And then on the 401 traveling east, really, really busy, starting from Dixie in sections out towards Warden. The good news, we had a long-standing collision in the collectors blocking the two right lanes. That did all clear. And if you're using the DVP, starting to thin out, but still pretty busy from Don Mills up to the 401 and also quite jammed on the Gardners. You make your way in and head out of the downtown core. Again, the good news, no problems. On city streets, crews on scene of a collision blocking lanes on Queen, just east of Leslie.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
And I'm going to send it over to Samantha TC at the TTC Transit Control Center. Good afternoon, Samantha. Just checking in to see if there are any issues on TTC.
Good afternoon, Adjoa. So things are moving quite well for us this evening with no delays reported on any of our subway lines underground or line 5 and 6 LRT routes. Now, taking a quick look over at our surface routes, we are still experiencing an issue with the 506 Carlton streetcars for that planned streetcar track renewal going on at the intersection of College and Bay Street. So if you are going to be traveling on the 506 Carlton, streetcars are running along Dundas Street between Parliament and McCall Street. Now, we do have replacement buses running from Spadina Station all the way to the intersection of Gerrard and Broadview, but they are also bypassing that area around College and Bay. Now, 19 Bay customers are also impacted by the construction. 19 Bay buses are redirecting from Bay Street between Wellesley and Gerrard Street. Now, to stay up to date on the latest with any of these service changes, make sure to check us out on the ttc.ca website or follow us on X at TTC Notices for live transit updates. And that's it from us. I'll send it back to you in the newsroom, Bakari.
All right, Senior Communications Advisor Samantha TC, thanks a lot. Well, Premier Doug Ford's considering a plan to fill in part of Lake Ontario to build a new convention center. He says that talks are in the very early stages, but he's floated the idea to Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow. Ford says that the city and province are losing out on opportunities to land major conventions because the space is not available. He admits that the appropriate environmental studies would have to be done, but says it's an idea worth exploring.
I wouldn't call it an island, but we may look at putting fill in until we can put a convention center. We're losing out on so many large conventions in the world because we just don't have the size, and it's a dated convention, but we're exploring that.
Ontario Green Party leader Mike Schreiner says that Ford's proposal is wasteful and unnecessary.
What a ridiculous idea. Millions of Ontarians are struggling to put a roof over their head, food on the table. There is no place in Ontario where a full-time minimum wage worker can afford average monthly rent. A whole generation of young people wondering if they'll be able to afford a home. And the Premier is talking about spending billions of dollars on this ridiculous idea of building an island for a convention center when there are numerous other places that you could do this.
Spadina Fort York NDP MPP Chris Glover says that Ford's talk about a new convention center shows that he does not have his spending priorities straight.
He's got to say where he's going to get the money from, because right now he's saying that there's no money for schools. Or, our schools are really struggling. He's got $1,500 per student. He just reversed, converts student grants to loans. It's $2.5 billion. Of student debt, additional student debt next year, according to the ministry. And yet he's got $3 billion or whatever it's going to cost to build a convention center. So the question is, where's the money coming from and what are his priorities?
And a statement from Mayor Olivia Chow's office reads, quote, "The mayor has said she is prepared to work with the province if they plan to invest in upgrading the convention center to attract more visitors and more business. This could help support our local economy and bring in more customers for Toronto small businesses. Any major development proposal would be reviewed to ensure it is in the best interest of Toronto and communities along the waterfront. We have not received a formal proposal on the future of the convention center." Right now it's 5:09, holding at 0. This is Live at 5. And coming up, the province's police watchdog is probing the death of a man in Barrie after an officer shot him with a stun gun. Well, the province's police watchdogs investigating the death of a man in Barrie after an officer shot him with a stun gun. The Special Investigations Unit says that the 29-year-old was pulled over by police around 3:30 this morning. He allegedly took off on foot after police learned that there was a warrant for his arrest. The SIU says the suspect and officers wound up in a backyard and a taser was deployed. The man was taken to hospital without vital signs and later pronounced dead. The SIU's called in anytime someone dies or is seriously injured while interacting with police. And police are searching for at least one suspect after a dog was fatally shot in Durham region. On November 13th, a dog was shot in a kennel. This happened on a residential property near Sideline 20 and the 8th concession in Claremont. The dog was later found dead by its owner. And police want to speak to anyone who was in the area that night or the next morning or who has cell phone or dash cam footage. Well, several arrests have been made following an investigation into unlicensed cannabis dispensaries. Investigators releasing these photos showing some of the items that were seized after officers executed search warrants at numerous addresses in the city's East End. Large quantities of dry cannabis, edibles, unstamped cigarettes, and cash were recovered, along with THC vapes and pre-rolled joints. 5 people are facing charges. They're scheduled to appear in court next month. And a Toronto man is charged in a major fraud investigation in York Region. 40-year-old Sergi is accused of scamming investigators out of $2.5 million. So police say 6 victims invested in Equity Line Service Corporation. They were promised a return on their investments. Well, instead, investigators say that the suspect used the money for personal gain. So he's now facing 6 counts of fraud over $5,000. And police are concerned that there may be more victims who've not come forward yet.
This investigation began last year in March when a victim came forward to report an investment scam. He reported that in February of the year prior, 2024, they invested a quantity of funds through the suspect who owned Equity Line Service Corporation and was promised a return on their investment. Now, through this investigation, it was learned that in February 2025, 5 additional victims had invested a quantity of funds as well with the same suspect.
And police say that scammers often use high-pressure tactics, and if an offer or investment opportunity appears too good to be true, it probably is. Well, police are looking for a driver who collided with a light rail vehicle on the Eglinton crosstown today, derailing service on part of the line. A crash happened shortly before 10:30 this morning between Sloan and Pharmacy. Well, service between Sloan and Pharmacy stations was temporarily suspended, but it did reopen. And police say that the driver who hit the LRT drove off after the collision, so they don't have a description of the vehicle just yet. No one was hurt. Right now it's 5:14, holding at 0. This is Live at 5. And coming up, we're learning more about how the federal government plans to help Canadians in the Middle East amid an ongoing war between Iran, the U.S., and Israel. Anita Anand says that the government's arranging a charter flight and seats on other flights to help Canadians get out of the Middle East amid an ongoing war between Iran, the U.S., and Israel. Anand says 51 seats on an Emirates flight from Dubai will land in Toronto tomorrow. Those seats are sold out. A charter flight for 180 Canadians will also fly from Dubai to Istanbul tomorrow. 3,500 Canadians have requested assistance to get out of the region. Anand says that there are more block bookings on flights to Istanbul and buses that will take Canadians out of the region.
My team has been in touch with D&D to ensure that all options are available should other means of leaving the region not remain viable. But again, given that there are flights leaving the region now, and we are able to book seats on existing flights, that is the most expeditious manner in which to ensure that Canadians can leave.
And there are some Canadians happy to be home after a tense few days in the Middle East. CP24 spoke with passengers at Pearson Airport coming back home from Dubai today. They say they're relieved to make it back after days of cancellations. Air Canada has suspended all flights to and from Dubai and Tel Aviv until at least March 22nd.
I don't believe that I'm back because I struggled for 5 days. So I call government support site to help, but hopefully everything okay. Now I'm here.
I had to book about 5 or 6 flights, which were getting canceled. So at the last minute, the airline was able to arrange for us to get onto this flight. Otherwise, we were going to drive through the mountains to Oman and take a flight from there into Europe just to get back home.
We just went there for a vacation. I mean, I went there to meet my friends, and then we just got stuck there for a week extra. But we're happy.
And more flights from the Middle East are expected to arrive in Toronto tomorrow. Well, there's no relief in sight at the pumps as gas prices in the GTA continue to rise due to the war in the Middle East. Gas at most stations rose another 2 cents at midnight to just under $1.49 a liter, although cheaper prices can be found. And Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan Mattek says this increase is going to be followed by a hike of 7 cents tomorrow. We also spoke with Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis for Gas Buddy, about whether or not prices will stabilize in the near future.
How high we get is a little bit difficult to determine right now. A lot of the focus is on the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. That's a vital waterway that on a normal day carries 20 to 25 million barrels of oil to the marketplace. With that effectively blocked through Iran's threats, that oil is not getting through to the marketplace. And oil prices up another 9% this morning. Toronto already seeing prices $1.45 a liter. That's up 19 cents in the last week. We could see another 5 to 15 cent a liter increase here over the weekend as oil prices continue to go up, and they could continue to rise, gas and oil prices, until there's some sort of confidence builder that ships can transit safely through the Strait of Hormuz.
The price, it's impossible, okay, because it's too much every day, okay, and this war, it's a big problem for us, for Canadians, okay, and use, okay, for work or for leisure, okay, it's impossible.
This has got to stop. People got to eat. Gas prices gone up. Food's definitely going to go up. Show the common courtesy. We got to stop this.
That's normal. Any war, any trouble, they go up. This is the way we live. We can't say anything. Nobody listen to us. Nobody respect our complaint or our point.
It's pretty high, and I don't know why. If we have refineries in Canada, why are they going up so much, right?
Mattek also expects the price of diesel to jump above $2 a liter by tomorrow. Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney signed a new partnership with Japan today. The deal aims to boost cooperation on defense, energy, trade, and technology. Canada and Japan plan to deepen collaboration on a range of areas, including cyber policy, Arctic security, and climate change. They also agreed to expand trade when it comes to energy projects, including liquefied natural gas, and to work closer on critical minerals.
That means reliable access in space-based communications, semiconductors, rare earths, SMRs, fusion, clean energy technology, AI, and sovereign cloud. As part of this, we're expanding our existing cooperation within the G7 Critical Minerals Alliance to secure reliable stockpiles and build our processing capacity.
And Carney said that a Team Canada trade mission will travel to Japan in the next few months. It's 5:22, holding at 0. This is Live at 5. Harry Styles releasing his new album today, and we're live outside of a pop-up on Queen Street. This is where fans are lined up. Take a look at it. We're going to check in with them next. Well, singer Harry Styles released his first album since 2022 today, and there are 16 pop-ups being held in big cities all around the world to celebrate the release of Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, including right here in Toronto. For more, let's go live to CP24. Sija Liu on Queen Street West. Sija.
Hi, Bakari. I'm here at Queen and Shaw, where this place behind me has been transformed into Harry's house. This is one of 16 pop-ups across the world celebrating Harry Styles' new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. Now, I was talking to some of the fans in line earlier. They told me they got here 8:30 in the morning. This place opened up at 4 o'clock. So some of the fans that you see going inside right now, they have been extremely patient. This is all to celebrate Harry Styles, his fourth album, and the lines really go as far as their eyes can see. But let's talk to some of these fans, see how they're feeling. Hi, ladies. How are you doing? We're live on CP24 here. How long have you been waiting in this line?
Since 3:30.
Okay.
So not too long, but
That's not
yeah.
so bad. So this is all to celebrate Harry Styles' new album. first thoughts? I'm guessing you've listened to it a bunch of times already?
Yes, yeah, we listened to it when we were in a very crowded area, so it was kind of hard to listen to, but listening with your phone up to your ear, first thought is I'm obsessed with it. Like, I love it. American Girls is by far my favorite. But yeah, every song is pretty good, so yeah.
What is it about Harry that you love so much, especially seeing him transform throughout his different albums?
I feel like it brings us back to our childhood a lot. Yeah. Like, we were talking about One Direction and how, like, we've kind of been fans from the start, and I think getting to hear him now and, like, how every single album's been, like, a different genre is really exciting to see.
And what are you hoping to get inside? I mean, I know there's some exclusive merch in there, tons of places to take Instagram photos. What are you hoping to take away?
I don't know. I'm just excited for this fun experience. I've never been to a pop-up, so this is a first for me. Obviously, I'm excited to get some merch. I'm not going to one of his concerts, so it's nice to have some memorabilia of his. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it.
Yeah, it was kind of sad that he decided to skip Toronto during his world tour, so this is the next best thing, I guess. Well, thank you so much, ladies. You're almost there. I hope you get inside soon. Let's talk to a few more fans, seeing how the wait has been for them, especially waiting for Harry's album. Hi, ladies. How are you doing here? How are you feeling about Harry's new album? How many times have you listened to it already?
All day.
Do you have a song that is stuck in your head right now?
Coming Up Roses, for sure.
Yeah. What are you hoping to get inside?
Hoping to get the blue hoodie, but we'll see.
Yeah, we can get a sneak peek inside right now. Fans have been waiting hours just to get in. This pop-up shop located at 938 Queen Street West. It's open until 9 o'clock today, and it's just one weekend only. Saturday and Sunday, it's open from 11 to 6 p.m. But as you can see from the lines, your best bet is to get here early if you want to snag some of that exclusive merch. Bakari, Harry Styles decided not to come to Toronto for his world tour, so this is really the next best thing for the local fans here.
Okay, coming to us live from Queen and Shaw, CP24, C. DeLu. Right now it's 5:28, holding at 0. This is Live at 5. And as the war continues, gas prices continue to climb higher with another big jump expected at midnight. We're going to tell you how much is being predicted next.
We were trying to be as active as we could to obtain and acquire as many young assets as we could, and we were able to do what we were able to do.
It was a quiet NHL trade deadline, which saw the Leafs ship out Bobby McMahon and Scott Laughton in separate deals. We're going to break down today's moves straight ahead. And as the war continues, gas prices continue to climb higher with another big jump expected at midnight. And 3,500 Canadians have asked for help to get out of the Middle East as the conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran escalates. We're going to hear from GTA residents who managed to get out, arriving at Pearson Airport today. And a convention center on the water. Premier Doug Ford's proposing filling in part of the lake to build a new facility. This is Live at 5. Bakari Savage, welcome to Live at 5. Well, as the conflict continues, gas prices continue to climb higher with another big jump at the pumps expected at midnight. Let's go live to CTV's Janice Golding. Janice, what are prices looking like right now, and how much are they expected to rise?
Well, they're pretty high right now, Bakari. We're standing in front of a Shell at Dufferin and Lawrence, and the price here is about $1.48 a litre. A few blocks down at a Petropan, it's closer to $1.49. That's a 2-cent jump overnight, and it is not over. We're hearing that we could be facing another 5 to 15 cent jump over the weekend, and that is for a regular liter of gas. If you're talking about diesel, if you take a look behind us here, it's actually up to over $2 a liter. That's a 43-cent jump in the last few days. So obviously things are being impacted by what's going on overseas. The Iranians have effectively shut down the Strait of Hormuz, through which about 1/5 of the global oil supply passes. That's 20 to 25 million barrels of oil a day. And so with a shortage comes higher prices. We did speak to patrons earlier today, people who are gassing up, and here's what they had to say.
The price, it's impossible, okay, because it's too much every day, okay, and this war, it's a big problem for us, for Canadians, okay, and use, okay, for work or for leisure, okay, it's impossible.
This has got to stop. People got to eat. gas prices gone up, food's definitely gonna go up. Show the common courtesy. We gotta stop this.
That's normal. Any war, any trouble, they go up. This is the way we live. We can't say anything. Nobody listen to us. Nobody respect our complaint or our point.
It's pretty high, and I don't know why. If we have refineries in Canada, why are they going up so much, right?
So clearly people are feeling pinched at the pumps. That's a 19-cent hike over the course of a week. And it's not over yet. Analysts are saying that if you need to gas up, you should do so tonight because, as you mentioned, over the course of the weekend, they're expecting another price hike of anywhere between 5 and 15 cents. Bakari.
Okay, with a look at the price at the pump, CTV's Janice Golding. Janice, thanks a lot. Okay, right now it's 5:33. Let's get a check on the commute with CP24's traffic specialist, Adjoa and Tia Yaboa. Adj, maybe the roads are going to be a lot clearer with these gas prices, right? Park that car.
You know what? People still have to pay. So they're still on the roadways. And by the look of what it looks like now, nobody is staying home. It is very slow in most of the major area highways, Bakari. But a little bit of good news. If you're a driver on the westbound 401 making your way through Lake Ridge, we were dealing with a stalled vehicle, was watching it in the right lane. It looks like everything just cleared. So as you make your way through, still a bit of a backlog as you try to get out of the stretch. And then eastbound on the 401, pretty busy still as well, past Dixie in sections all the way out towards about the Warden stretch. If you're using the DVP, it's improving. Southbound's actually slower as you do make your way from Don Mills all the way down to the merge with the Gardner. If you're on the Gardner, on the westbound side trying to get out of the downtown core, the delays start from York Bay Yonge and they continue all the way out towards Royal York on city streets. We have this ongoing collision on Queen just east of Leslie. Now I'm going to send it over to Samantha TC at the TCC Transit Control Center. Samantha, just checking in to see if there are any issues on TTC line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Thanks so much, Adjoa. So things are still moving well for us with no delays reported underground on our subways or on the LRT lines. Now looking over at our streetcar routes, we are just hearing of an issue impacting the 501 Queen streetcars. So an eastbound streetcar is holding at the intersection of Queen and Roncesvalles because of a security incident. So if you are traveling through that area, eastbound streetcars are going to continue from Roncesvalles traveling along King Street over to Dufferin, and from Dufferin, they will route back onto Queen Street from that area. Now, looking at our surface routes, everything is moving well with buses with no major detours in place at the moment. Now, if you will be traveling late night tonight, we do have a planned subway closure starting at 11 p.m. on line 2 between Victoria Park and Kennedy stations for planned track work. Now, shuttle buses will run, and this closure will roll into a full weekend closure all day Saturday and Sunday, with regular service set to resume Monday morning at 6 a.m. Now, to stay up to date on the latest, make sure to check us out on the TTC.ca website or follow TTC notices on X. Now that's it from us at Transit Control. I'll send it back to you in the newsroom, Bakari.
All right, Senior Communications Advisor Samantha TC, thanks a lot for that update. Well, the Maple Leafs, they moved a couple players before the trade deadline today, pending unrestricted free agent winger Bobby McMahon moving to the Seattle Kraken. The Leafs get a couple of draft picks in return, a 4th-round pick this year and a 2nd-rounder in 2027. So the Maple Leafs have also dealt pending a restricted free agent center Scott Lawton. He goes to the Los Angeles Kings for a conditional 3rd-round pick. Now, Leafs GM Brad Treliving acknowledging that it was a tough market for teams looking to build for the future.
This team for a number of years has been adding at this time of the year. And today was a day, and leading up to today was a day to try to regain some assets. And again, I know there's lots of speculation and all sorts of things out there. The market speaks. You know, at the end of the day, we were trying to be as active as we could to obtain and acquire as many young assets as we could, and we were able to do what we were able to do.
Right now, let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, who's outside of Scotiabank Arena. Okay, Beatrice, we've heard this before, building for the future. How does that add up for the fans?
Yeah, the fans say there's a lot of work, Bakari, to do when it comes to building for the future of the Leafs based on what we've seen this season from this team. And it started with really high hopes for the team. I mean, they had a great playoff series with the Florida Panthers last year. They came, within a whisker even of advancing to the next round. And so Leafs fans, they love to say it, there's always next year. And so they were really hoping that this was the year in light of Marner's departure to the Vegas Golden Knights as well. They still had confidence in Austin Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares, Matthew Nyes. Then the addition of guys like Bobby McMahon, who last year, for example, had a wonderful season. But then you've got injuries. Chris Tanev, the defenseman, injured, undergoing surgery, and just the guys not able to gel together. And in fact, I remember covering the press conference back in November when Brad Treliving, the GM, had a post-mortem after the first quarter of the season, and he called these guys vanilla. Well, guess what, Bakari? They haven't been able to find their chocolate, their sprinkles, their caramel ever since. They have remained vanilla, and the proof is in the pudding, too. 6 losses in a row, including last night getting just shellacked by the last place New York Rangers. And so it comes fans are even more disappointed because their captain, Austin Matthews, went on to win gold in the Olympics with Team USA. And since then, there has just been absolutely no momentum. This team has not been able to find its footing. And for fans, they're just really disappointed with the way that this season has gone. Here's some fan reaction from outside of Leafs Nation here at Scotiabank Arena.
I think those are good moves, especially with the recent skid we've had after the Olympics break. We should get in there, get some new draft picks, get some young blood up, and really start trying to rebuild around Matthews and Nylander for the future.
I'd like to see Morgan Rielly go, though. I think it's time for a change. He's been there for too long, and I don't know, bring up someone young.
To be honest, I don't think the Leafs will have much success going forward. As long as Austin Matthews is on the team, we have to start over and rebuild. That's what I've been saying for like the last 5 years or so. We haven't really accomplished much with Austin Matthews.
Yeah, El Capitan, I think, losing a lot of faith from some of the fans. Bakari, also the coaching staff, Craig Berube, losing some faith from the fans as well, saying clearly something's got to change. When Brad Treliving was asked to reflect on the season, he said, look, it's not time for a post-mortem or an autopsy on this season just yet. There's still 19 games left to go, but he's taking responsibility, he said, for the failures of this team. The Leafs in a very different position. The last 9 years in a row, they made it to the playoffs, the longest playoff streak in NHL history when it comes to teams actually making it to the playoffs, to the postseason. This year, it looks like that streak is going to be broken. The top 8 teams in the division, Bakari, advanced to the playoffs. The Leafs now sit at what many would consider unlucky 13. So the season a write-off for a lot of the fans, and it's all about sell, sell, sell for the Maple Leafs today. No buying done. Back to you.
That was a tough story. CP24's Beatrice Vaisman live outside of Scotiabank Arena.
Are you depressed yet? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's talk about the weather. Okay, thanks, B. Well, a mild weekend ahead, and rain will also help to get rid of a lot of the snow. There's a special weather statement for parts of the GTA, including Toronto. So Environment Canada says we could see up to 25 millimeters of rain. Now, because the frozen ground has a reduced ability to absorb this rainfall to ponding on roads and low-lying areas. So the rain's expected from this evening through tomorrow evening. There's also fog advisories for parts of the GTA tonight with near zero visibility possible. Okay, it's 5:41, holding at zero. This is Live at 5, and up next, we're going to have reaction to Premier Doug Ford's proposal to fill in part of the lake to build a new facility. We have breaking news. Toronto police, they're asking for help locating a missing 8-year-old. Aviana was last seen this afternoon right around 12:40 in the area of Spadina and Dundas Street West. So the child is described as being 3 feet tall with black hair and was last seen wearing a pink sweatshirt, black pants, pink boots, and a multicolored jacket. Anyone with information on their whereabouts, you're asked to contact police. Well, Premier Doug Ford's considering a plan to fill in part of Lake Ontario to build a new convention center. So he says that talks are in the very early stages, but he's already floated the idea to Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow. So Ford says the city and province are losing out on opportunities to land major conventions because the space is not available. He admits that the appropriate environmental studies would have to be done, but says it's an idea worth exploring.
We're looking at options right now, but we need a convention center. Right now, it's on a 7-acre site. It's a terrible site. We all agree. And like I said, during the Board of Trade, you go in there and you're going up, you're going down, you're going up, you're going crossing the road. That's unacceptable. We're losing massive amount of business. So we'll build something, just something out of this world for the city of Toronto, but also for Ontario.
Well, Ontario Green Party leader Mike Schreiner says that Ford's proposal is wasteful and unnecessary.
I don't understand why the premier would want to literally take waste-fill soil, dump it into Lake Ontario to build some mega convention center at the cost of billions of dollars. I mean, to me, this just seems like a premier that is completely out of touch of the daily reality of everyday people in this province who are struggling just to get through the end of the month.
And Spadina, Fort York NDP MPP Chris Glover says that Ford's talk about a new convention center shows that he does not have his spending priorities straight.
Ford is just squandering our tax dollars, and I think this is a major distraction. Like this talk about the convention center, it's a distraction from the fact that he's downloading debt onto students in Ontario. Our colleges and universities have the lowest funding of any college and universities in the country. So instead of investing in our colleges and universities, he's actually downloading more debt onto students. And at the same time, he's saying, oh, but we've got billions of dollars to build a new convention center.
And a statement from Mayor Olivia Chow's office reads, quote, the mayor has said that she is prepared to work with the province if they plan to invest in upgrading the convention center to attract more visitors and more business. This could help support our local economy and bring in more customers for Toronto small businesses. Any major development proposal would be reviewed to ensure it's in the best interest of Toronto and communities along the waterfront. We've not received a formal proposal on the future of the convention center. Well, now to CP24's Weekend Best Bets, the events that you need to check out this weekend around the GTHA.
It's Mayor Kevin Ash from the City of Pearson. My weekend's best bets are all the great local events and celebrations happening right here in our community. On Saturday, visit the Pickering Eid Bazaar at the East Shore Community Center. Or while you're out, check out the brand new shops at the Shops at Pickering Town Center. And stop by our brand new restaurant in Aeronautical Village at the base of Liverpool Road called Water. There's so much to explore in Pickering. Your weekend's best bets are right here at home. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mississauga Mayor Carolyn Parrish. This week, my weekend best bet is the first annual Multicultural Youth Festival, Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Portuguese Cultural Community Center at 53 Queen Street North. This family-friendly event will bring together performers from around the world. Hope to see you there, and have a great weekend.
You're in the know with CP24's Weekend Best Bets every week right here on CP24. Right now it's 5:47, holding at 0. This is Live at 5. And coming up, we're learning more about how the federal government plans to help Canadians in the Middle East amid an ongoing war between Iran, the U.S., and Israel. Well, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says that the government is arranging a chartered flight and seats on other flights to help Canadians get out of the Middle East amid an ongoing war between Iran, the U.S., and Israel. Anand says 51 seats on an Emirates flight from Dubai will land in Toronto tomorrow. Now, those seats are sold out. A charter flight for 180 Canadians will also fly from Dubai to Istanbul tomorrow. 3,500 Canadians have requested assistance to get out of the region. Anand says there are more block bookings on flights to Istanbul and buses that will take Canadians out of the region.
We certainly welcome all Canadians who wish to return home and where their travel documentation is expired or in other way compromised, we will work to ensure that we're doing whatever possible to bridge that gap. I would ask Canadians in those circumstances to contact our missions in the particular country in which they reside.
And there are some Canadians who are happy to be home after a tense few days in the Middle East. CP24 spoke with passengers at Pearson Airport who returned home from Dubai today. They say they're relieved to make it back after days of cancellations. Air Canada has suspended all flights to and from Dubai and Tel Aviv until at least March 22nd.
There were noises coming here and there, and on the day when I was supposed to take my flight, we saw missiles being intercepted right in front of our eyes because we were just on the beach. It was a scary experience. We just rushed out. That wasn't nice. And then there was a fire at the U.S. Embassy, which is like 10 minutes from where we were staying. So it was a bit scary, but it's okay. As long as we're back, we're happy.
There were lots of interception sounds and stuff overhead, but there was never really crazy panic. The stores were all stocked and stuff like that. So day-to-day lives were, pretty much normal.
And more flights from the Middle East are expected to arrive in Toronto tomorrow. Right now it's 5:53, holding at 0. This is Live at 5. Well, Harry Styles released his new album today, and we're live outside of a pop-up on Queen Street. This is where fans are lined up. We're going to check in with them next. His first album since 2022. Today, there are 16 pop-ups being held in big cities all around the world to celebrate the release of Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, including right here in Toronto. Let's go live to CP24. Sija Liu on Queen Street West. Sija.
Bakari, fans are so incredibly happy today. They got the new Harry Styles album, and there's a pop-up shop here in Toronto for one weekend only. And this is all to celebrate the pop star's fourth studio album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. But let's talk to some fans who have been very patient. They waited in that line, got here early, and now they're out with some goodies. This is Hunter here. Hunter, what was that experience like inside after you went in there, after waiting in line for hours?
Really warm. It was really cool to hear all of his music really loud and to see his stuff everywhere and all his art and everything everywhere.
Yeah, well, let's see some of the goodies you got. Okay, so you're already wearing the hoodie. Take a look at that. It says Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, and let's see, what else did you get here?
I got his pink vinyl. As well as tea towels.
Very British.
Yes, and then some socks as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What has been your favorite song in the album so far?
Coming Up Roses. It's his slower song on the album, and it has strings that accompany his voice, so you can really hear his raw voice as well as I like how the strings accompany it.
Yeah, I was listening to the album on the drive here. A very easy listen. What would you give it? 10 out of 10?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Hunter. Enjoy the rest of your day, and congrats on all your exclusive merch. But let's show you the line, just to show you how exclusive this event is. A huge line down the street here, wrapped around the corner. I was talking to one of the security guards earlier, and he told me that people were here at 8:30 in the morning. But let's talk to some more fans who are in line. Hi, ladies. How are you guys doing? You're almost there. How are you feeling?
Very cold, very excited to be here.
And what does this day mean to you for the fourth studio album and to be around all the other Harry fans?
I don't know, I'm just really happy for Harry to be back. I've been waiting for such a long time, so it's great.
Yeah, it's been, 3 years since his last album?
I think so, yeah, it's been a while. I was just remembering that last time at the Harry's House pop-up, it was raining as well. So, the weather is not great, but I'm happy to be here.
Today is certainly better than a rainy day, even though it's not too warm. Thanks so much, ladies. But this event is taking place all weekend long. It goes until 9 o'clock tonight, and then Saturday and Sunday from 11 in the morning until 6 p.m. And as you can see from the lines, you want to come down here early. There is exclusive merch, but this is the place to be, Bakari. 938 Queen Street West. Anyone who's a Harry Styles fan.
Okay, reporting live from Queen and Shaw, the Harry Styles pop-up, CP24's Sija Liu. Thanks a lot. Well, the Milan Cortina Winter Paralympics, they're officially underway. Opening ceremony held today with some countries, including Canada, boycotting the event because of the return of the Russian flag to the global sports stage. And with that, it is now 5:59, holding at 0. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Lots of rain combined with melting snow is expected this weekend. Thank you for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.